What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my circle. Today, I'm gonna just get right to the point. I feel like I have a word for somebody. So if you're here watching this, my prayer is that you have open ears, an open heart, and an open mind to receive what I'm saying. And if it's not for you, that's okay as well. Just pass it on to somebody who you think it may help. So I'm gonna just get right into it. And this, let me tell you guys, it comes from experience and a recent revelation that I feel like God spoke to me while I was doing my devotion. And it just all comes around this word, lane of assignment, staying on the path that God has created for you. We all have a path, we all have a journey, and as long as we stay on that, then we will see everything that we're praying for, we're dreaming for, and we're hoping for. So when I talk about experience, 2 years ago we was living in Florida, and every year my sister hosts this Thanksgiving dinner at her place, and we decided to drive up with our 5 kids. And if you're from the Atlanta area, or if you've ever been on the Atlanta highway, it is not for the impatient. Like, that highway system is expansive. Like, it is huge, and you can get lost really fast, and you can get lost in the scenery really fast as well. But God showed me something, or he brought back to my memory something about that trip that, once I got this recent revelation, and it was like pieces of a puzzle coming together. And the verse that just kind of put all this together for me was found in Jeremiah, when God said, I have a plan for you, plans to give you a hope and a future, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. And just putting it together with, like I said, the experience of traveling to my sister on a busy Atlanta highway, and the recent revelation was like, when we decided to go to my sister's house, the first thing that happened was she sent us her address. So we knew where we was going. We knew we had a destination, and we knew how to get there. We just have to follow the GPS, and it's going to lead us straight there. But the revelation from that was, when we put the direction in, it gave us an ETA, estimated time of arrival. And I just want to prophesy to you, God has an ETA for your vision. God has an ETA for your dream. God has an ETA for everything that you're hoping for. He has an estimated time of arrival for you and your life. When God said, I have a plan for you to give you a hope and a future, that's a promise. It is already placed in time. It is already there. You just have to follow that path. You just have to stay in the lane of assignment that he have you in. I always tell myself, what you're looking for is looking for you, but it's not looking for a lesser version of you. You have to move into these things. You have to mature into these things. You don't have to chase, force, or beg, or manipulate these things to happen. You just have to grow and become everything that you're destined to be, understanding that it's going to happen because it is already put in time. You have an ETA for these things. So when we put my sister address in, and we took this busy Atlanta highway, when you talk about dreams and visions and all these things, and you're going to go out and make these things happen. Once we got on that highway, there was so many things that wowed our kids, the buildings, the cars, the restaurants, all these fancy things that they would just, listen, they had so much to talk about because their mind had been open to so much more new things. Their capacity had been enlarged. Like, they wasn't jealous because they can see a Lamborghini over here, and the next thing you know, they see a Ferrari over here. So they wasn't in competition with the people that have this. They were saying, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. You know how we as kids, we say, you see it, it's yours, name it, claim it, whatever the case may be. But they wasn't competing for it because they knew there was so much more out there, so much more that was available to them. And it was a reminder for me, it's like, when you mature in such a way that you start seeing people in their life and their success and their winning season, you understand you're not my competition. You're my inspiration. I thank God for showing me you, because he's showing me what's available. So on that highway, I didn't try to get in your lane and follow you to see where you was going so I can have what you had. I stayed in my lane. I understood there's already an ETA for here, and I'm not going to let any distractions or unnecessary detours take me from this thing, what I have up here. So even though you look good and you're flashy and I may want this, God is just showing me what's available for me. But I have to stay in my lane because he has an ETA for me to get to this place. And if I get in your lane, I'm going to miss this place because you're going to take me somewhere else. So I'm going to prophesy for you. God has an ETA for that vision, for that dream, for the things that you're hoping for. But you have to stay in your lane. Don't see what somebody else is doing or what they have and try to get in their lane and try to go and get that, because you're taking an unnecessary detour. It's not going to lead you to where God is trying to take you. He has an ETA for you right here. So stay in your lane. If it's going slower than this person, who cares? Mature, build up, grow in such a way that you're gonna become and get to where you need to get to because you're in your lane. So for me, understanding what's for you won't miss you unless you're in somebody else's lane. So literally, I finished my devotion. I told my wife, like, listen, everything that we want, it is already done. It is already placed in time. God has an ETA for those things, and it's not going to happen by accident. We have to stay in our lane. We can't allow the enemy, the devil, to get us go 1 mile per hour faster than what we want to go because we're going to be tired, stressed out, and burnt out. We can't see what other people are doing in their life and try to copy or be like them. It's going to get us tired, burnt out, and stressed out. So we have to stay in our lane, understanding everything that we're praying for and we're hoping for, it is already set in time. And there's a time for everything. And there's a time that you're going to receive that. But you have to grow and mature and become that person that can handle that. What you're looking for is looking for you. You don't have to force. You don't have to beg. You don't have to manipulate these things to happen. You just have to stay in your lane. So wherever you are in your life, that's exactly where you need to be. Because God has an ETA for you, for your dreams, for your vision, for everything to come to pass in your life. And no, I'm going to take that back. Not to come to pass, to come to stay. Because it's a part of who you are. Because if you lose it, you can get it again because you become and you've grown to such a person that it's not about the thing. It's about the person and the mindset that was able to make these things come. So stay in your lane. Let other people have what they have. And like I said, they are not your competition. God put them in your life to be your inspiration, to show you what's possible, to show you what he can do if you just stay in your lane and appreciate what you have and just allow him to pour out these resources so that when you see these people, you don't have to compare and compete and want what they have. How did you get it? Ask for advice. Don't be afraid to ask for advice. Let the pride go. Let the ego go. Those things are going to hold you back from becoming who you need to be. God is showing you these people because they've been through something that maybe you haven't been through or that you're going through, and they had a way out because they had to go through something. So when you see somebody in their winning season, don't get jealous, baby. They was once in a losing season. So ask him, how did you get out of that season? What did you do? That's wisdom. That's knowledge. That's understanding. That's God showing you, hey, you're praying for this. I'm not going to send you the money. I'm going to send you somebody who was broke, but they found a way out and they prayed and they did everything that you're doing right now. And I showed them and they built and grew in such a way and matured in such a way that they made and paved the way out. So you don't have to create a wheel. Get the advice from the people that I'm showing you and you're going to follow that path and it's going to take you on something. Literally, I have an ETA for you. That person, you was destined to see that person. Not to compare and compete, but to be inspired, to get the advice, to get the wisdom, knowledge, or whatever you need. So I hope this video helped and inspired you guys. Remember to like and subscribe. And remember to follow me on my other social platforms just to keep up to date with what we're going on. So thank you guys and have a blessed day.